Hello, everybody. How are you all doing this sunny Tuesday? Is it sunny where you are? It's lovely here today. Just out in Didcot, I am just outside Oxford. It's great to be with you. This is one of the highlights of my week. If you are watching for the first time, why not drop a comment in, say hello? It's a chance for other people to connect with you. And if you're watching and you're a regular watcher, please also say hello. It just gives me a hey, Sheikh, how are you? Where are you watching from, my friend? Oh, Kuwait. I think you are the first person watching from Kuwait. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Slam Duggan, how are you, my friend? It has been too long since we've caught up. Yusef, hello, how are you? And we have Barry, pop up pirate, the legend that is Barry. Letitia, my first time. Well, I thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy the show. I really do. Danny's here. Fake sun here. Looks amazing, but feels like -3. Very, very similar here. Joe's here. Hello, mate. We still need to catch up as well. I'm terrible. I am sorry. I don't have my work experience. Hey, dude. Bev's here. Sunshine splitting the flagstones here. Such a way with words, Bev, already. You're welcome, Shake. And Scott as well. Good morning, Scott. And if you noticed, if you saw on LinkedIn, Scott, good luck on the new adventure for you. Simon's here, all the way from Amazing Stoke, where I used to live. I love Amazing Stoke. Simon's been writing some wonderful things. Call center helper. Check out his posts. It is great to be here with you all today. Please do keep the comments coming. And please also, why not, like I say, connect with each other, build up your network and your community. I have a really good show for you today. I hope she is here and watching. She hasn't said hello yet, but do you remember last week? You might have seen on LinkedIn, I had my Nathan's here as well. Hi, Nathan. Good to have you here. I had last week my work experience. Oh, and Josh is as well. Josh, I hope you're enjoying your new role, mate. It's great to see you back doing your data wizardry. Um, I had my work experience team with me, if you remember last week, and one of here she is. Neris is here now. Then Neris, get ready. Morning. Jordan has got past 1,000 connections. Well done, Jordan. A young man striding through our industry, doing great things. If you're not connected, maybe help Jordan get up to 2K. Um, yeah, so I had my work experience team with me last week, one 17-year-old, two 16-year-olds, and we were talking about how we could relate to them in the industry. And Neris said, have I played them her rap? So I'm very pleased to say today is going to be the world premiere of the contact center legend Neris Caulfield's rap. So I want you all to get ready. Hugo's come in to listen to this. No, he's gone. So now then, I'm going to remove myself as well because get ready for this.
Now, this is a story all about how my life got flipped turned upside down, and I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you how I became obsessed with a life in contact center air. In the South Wales Hills, I was born and raised. In the uni pub is where I spend most of my days, chilling out, maxing, relaxing, not cool, and all dreams of big bucks outside the rule. Then a life in Stales in a world that seemed good. Started in the centre of a London neighbourhood. I got in quite a few new clients and then I got scared and I said, I'm moving with management and ops in the contact centre air. I've pulled 25 years and I still think it's great. And I yell to the world, it's a career creator. Exciting opportunities are totally there if you sit on the phone in a contact centre. Oh, that's a good thing to do over my breakfast this morning. Now, this is a
What did everyone make of that? Did you hear it all okay? The first ever rapping contact center legend, Neris, that was awesome. I hope you all got to hear it. Yes, Neris. Oh my god. So what a great rap. The girls loved it actually, Neris. So it's absolutely it's absolutely hit the mark. How cool is that? So I'm sure, as well as Phil and myself, you all must have loved that. So in time as well, Neris, you've got a talent. Brilliant. Yeah, definitely, Simon. Wasn't it brilliant? So maybe this could be another feature. If any of you would like to send in some singing or a rap, I can put it to a video. I think my dream of being a rapper is no longer dead. Danny, this is where dreams come true, mate. We can make it happen for you here. When are you dropping the album, Neris? Yeah, so true. So true. I'd like to state that I will be Neris's video production. Amazing. There you go, Neris. So you've got an alternative career. So yeah, absolutely brilliant. It's been a great week in the team leader community, and you may have seen some of you I know are in Bev, Barry, and Jordan. You're in the community, and you would have seen that oh, here we go. Nathan's telling us a little secret. Phil Duggan can rap. I want to see it. I want to see that, Phil. I see a choir in our futures, the contact center choir, Barry. Oh, don't start me. Don't start me off. Maybe this is the next thing. You may have seen me post about what have I learned in the last week in the community, or the last few weeks. The team leader community has now been live, coming up to a month. We've 68 team leaders in there from various companies, and also non-team leaders. Anyone can join. It's if you want to share best practice and help team leaders, or just be part of the community, everyone is welcome. But I shared a ballers ball. Yes, they do. Always. I shared on LinkedIn a post, just what have I learned. Number one, the community is working, and I know I'm bound to say that, but it's helping people every day. I mean, look, I'll give it a go. Prefer Ronan Keating. Well, Phil, I'm not going to qualify anything. If you want to sing, then you can absolutely sing whatever you want. New breakout idea being TL Hidden Talents. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Jordan. Number one, the community is working. It's helping people every single day. Number two is it's just great to see the future leaders of our industry, because that is exactly what they are. There are some absolute superstars in the community, and it's a privilege to be alongside them as they're cutting their way in the industry for that first step into leadership. And the third point I shared was, if you are responsible for team leaders, please think about what you're asking them to do, because what we're tending to do is kind of layer them up with loads and loads of things. It's hard enough to manage 15 people without then giving them project. Now they want that, they want the extra responsibility. So I'm not saying don't give it to them, but the thing that is often missing is when you are giving them multiple things to do, that they then don't know their priorities. So, and this can be as simple as saying, I've given you a lot to do. I recognize that. What I would like you to do, though, is first engage with your team on an individual and collective level. Then, when you've done that, if you've got time, then please pick up this extra project. Because in a poll that we did in the community, the number one challenge was juggling all the different things they had to do. And it's just been fascinating to see that you can create a culture where people think they're failing across the board. They're letting their team down, they're letting you down, and they're letting the customer down, because they're only getting to bits and bobs of all of their to-do list, rather than being able to say, I absolutely nailed team leadership today. And I've also done some of this WFM project, or this quality project. So please, can we think just a little bit more when we give people extra tasks, that we are also helping them with clear priorities and also support, that we're there to say, I'm going to help you. I'm not just going to abdicate all of this stuff to you. I'm going to delegate it, and delegate it properly. So I will get off my soapbox now, and I want to engage all of your brains for our question of the day. Now, that question is, where do we have the biggest skill gap in our industry? What do you think is the biggest skill gap in the industry? There's been some really interesting posts about this already. I've noticed Marianne's one. I hope, Marianne, you're with us today. And you note down how technology's changed massively. Have we seen the equivalent change with our people? If we haven't, what can we do? And where is the biggest skill gap? What do you think? Where do you think the biggest skill gap in the industry lies? I will kick us off if there's no comments coming in. I'm just dealing with Hugo at the moment because he's doing my head in. Okay, I'm going to kick us off. I believe that the biggest skill gap in the industry is with the communication skills with people that we ask to come into the industry and converse with customers. We're not spending enough time on the key part of their role, which is their mouth, their ears, and also their written words. Where's the biggest skill gap? And we've got some comments coming in. Let's have a look. Management to leadership. To many, think they're the same thing, and most of our L&D processes focus on management skills, doing things right, rather than leadership, doing the right things. Really good point, Danny. There is that key difference, isn't there, between management and leadership. Coaching is the biggest skill gap I'm seeing. Cameron, great point, and welcome from Australia, Cameron. Again, I couldn't agree more. And maybe that's that one of those learnings from the team leader community, right? By saddling people up, we often prevent them from delivering effective coaching. And do we even start with what is coaching? How does that look? What's the difference between formal and informal coaching? What coaching methodology do you have? So a really, really key point, and thanks for sharing, Cameron. Jordan, I find a common missing skill is with all of the tech advancements, we forget to be human. Really true. Really, really true. Danny has said it best. I was going to suggest leadership. And Bev, just to qualify that, do you mean leadership at all levels or predominantly at a senior level? Where do you mean? Steve, hello, Steve. How you doing? And thanks so much for championing the community the other day. Coaching, being able to engage all of the team, especially remotely. Beverly Hughes, great minds. Yeah, you two are often in sync, aren't you? So we're seeming to come up with coaching and leadership as being the biggest skill gap. Yes, Danny, I think that process of also promoting agents into management, giving them the right leadership coaching, goes back to Martin's point of view of the magic weekend. Promoting people needs to be more considered and giving them the tools they need to be great leaders. And I think this, thanks, Phil. That's I couldn't agree more. And I spoke about it at the expo, the concept of the magic weekend, which is we promote people on a Friday, and by Monday, we believe that some fairies have come to visit them and given them all of the skills they need to lead people. It's a real challenge, isn't it? Leading people is a real ongoing challenge. How are we equipping people to do that? Hey, Steve. Leadership at senior level. Thanks, Bev. Do you think that is because we assume that when people get to a senior level, that they have delivered everything that or that they're fully rounded, and we assume they have everything that they need, and we're not looking at their skills? Or is it more in how they are leading the rest of the company? Danny, here we go. Promoting advisors and leaving them to learn the new role is a great way to beige your service. Wow, lovely term. You weaken your advisor population by removing skills and weaken your management layer by not investing. So true, Danny. And then it carries on, doesn't it, in delivery to customers, the culture, your bag, the culture that is then in the company. Steve, love the Magic Weekend concept. I'd hoped it had died out about 20 years ago. Me too. Me too. But I can tell you, it's very much still around. I think less so, though. I think generally we have got better. And what's interesting in all of your comments is I wondered whether people would focus in on WFM or quality or IT, but you're focusing in the same areas I would, which is, are we equipping people to be good leaders? What are the leaders like at a senior level? And I guess the thing to consider as well is, what is the impact of this skill gap? What impact does this have on our industry now and also in the future? I'd love to get your thoughts on that, because we know we have a challenge attracting talent. Then when we get it, what are we doing with it? And it seems like from your comments that if we're not investing in people's leadership skills and coaching skills, then people that do come into the industry are not going to get the best experience. I think there's nothing better than seeing people in our industry come in and what they look like when they come out or when they move on as more rounded human beings, real exceptional customer service champions, that they're great at communication, that they have a far better understanding of business. All of these things are possible at a customer advisor level. Okay, I just want to get Bev's one here. I feel it's because leadership training rarely exists for middle management, a consequence of cutbacks in L&D after the last big financial crisis in 2008, paying the price today. And I wonder, Bev, if we'll see a similar impact in this current crisis, the cost of living crisis, and as companies are cutting back. I agree on coaching and leadership. This has been an issue since I joined the industry. I think training has got better, and I would agree, Simon. But you then need to allow leaders to practice these skills, which means investment in the budget for things like coaching time or meeting time. Otherwise, what's the point? So true. Steve, I think the leadership skill gap by individual is a great place for any ops or TL to review for themselves and their team cohort the specificity oh dear, the specificity will matter here, in my opinion. That's easy for you to say. I couldn't agree more, even though I can't say it. People are our biggest cost and value add. Why on earth would you not invest in them? Put soapbox down. No, please don't, Danny. Keep that soapbox up. I know. Steve, I'm nothing if not entertaining. It's people from Barry, and I see Barry's people focused every day. So it's people. We are promoting people to manage people, and we need to ensure we support everyone's learning and give them the right skill set to bring the human aspect to the role. Couldn't agree more, Barry. Bev, Danny Warren, because you're chasing an exit strategy, maybe. Bitter? Not bitter. Yes, well, that comes back to your original point, Bev, doesn't it, about the senior leaders and what is their vision? What are they doing? If they're just seeing their organization as a commodity to monetize at some point, then why do they? Maybe you see that in the extent to which they do invest in people and bridge the skill gaps. I mean, Steve, you made a really interesting point around how often are we doing training needs analysis on our people. And I've often looked at training needs analysis as a kind of skill gap analysis, where can we shorten the gap in people's skills? What do they need? Because, much the same way we had football training last night for the girls, and we're working on particular girls' strengths and weaknesses and trying to shorten the gap in whether they can clear the ball or how well they shoot or all of these things. It's the same methodology, isn't it? As Richard Branson says, train people well enough so they can leave, treat them good enough to make them want to stay. I couldn't agree more. And I think, Jordan, one of the things that would be nice to get into our cultural mindset about our industry is if we can treat people coming into the industry, treat that first step as if they were at college or uni, and that they graduate into other roles. And I think that will also help with how we talk about our industry as well. How we attract people into it. We can say, come in as a customer advisor and then do what you need to do to get into these other parts. That's when your career really starts. So some lovely comments. Please do keep your answers coming in. Where do we have the biggest skill gap in the industry? And also, what can we do about it? We've talked about the impacts, but how do we address these skill gaps? What do you think? We've got to get creative, I guess, if people are less inclined to invest. Here we go, Nathan. Let me just get your comment up. One of the basics, I think, is a lack of knowledge on basic stuff like Excel and reporting. You can sometimes have a great team manager who people love working for, but they lack the simple stuff and don't feel comfortable asking for help with the basics. So true, Nathan. And from personal experience, I know I benefited massively when I was able to use PowerPoint better, use Excel better. It just gave me somewhere to put my thoughts and communicate to people who didn't necessarily always like the stand-up comedy routines that I did. Oh wow, Brooke is tuning in from home. Hi Brooke, thank you very much. 3 of the Echo crew, 3 ECers today. That's great. I think that means you're probably here mob-handed, Slam Duggan. Does this mean that you guys have the record for most attendees? I think that's great. Thank you so much. And watch this space for I'm going to be doing a tour. I want to get up to see you guys. It looks like a great center. I saw your picture the other day of your center in the sunlight, and it looked brilliant. Okay, right then. Let's now go to our Contact Babel read along. I have made contact with Steve, so Steve knows I'm doing this. I was a little bit worried. It's all positive. So Steve Morel from Contact Babel. For those of you that are tuning in for the first time, this is from the Decision Makers Guide. It's the largest survey of the contact center in our industry. And I have been going along. Okay, hold on. Sorry, Cameron. Let me just get this because this is so true. Using a tool like Grow coaching methodologies has been enormously helpful for me to solve any kind of human problem or achieve goals. I couldn't agree more. It's one of my favorites. Danny's challenging you, Nathan. I'd challenge that example. How many times do we ask TM to do MI reporting because the original is not suitable for use? Insisting TMs are Excel experts is a symptom of poor MI. I won't talk for Nathan. I wonder, I mean, I interpreted his point as just getting better at this kind of thing helps with just having a better awareness, certainly of numbers, and also for me creating things about my team that maybe I'd done. I do agree with you, Danny, though. Right now, let's go to the Contact Babel read along. And we are up to about 165 pages in. And the first thing I want to share with you is agents often need to duplicate or cut and paste data into multiple applications by contact center size. So you can see the red is agree and strongly agree. And if we're talking about employees' experience, the people that are at the cutting edge talking to our customers, how often do they have to cut and paste into multiple applications? And I think those stats there show you we have a lot of work to do. The average is over 50% of the time we're asking agents to cut and paste data into multiple applications. Scott, not sure if it's a skill as such, but I think there's a lack of empowerment in general, allowing all members of staff to have the ability to make and drive change rather than just feeling like a number. That's really good point, Scott. Danny Wareham, I understand your perspective and agree. This is from Nathan in response to Danny, and agree that insisting that team members be Excel experts can be a symptom of poor management information MI practices. If the original data is not suitable for use, then it's important to identify the root cause of the issue and take steps to address it. Very true, Nathan. Danny, bloody interweb connection keeps dropping. I'm going to have to rewatch for the bits I missed. I should do a highlight show. Okay. Next, we have. What are your thoughts on this, though? We're asking people to do too much. With the advances we've had in technology, surely we don't need our customer-facing colleagues to be copying and pasting data into multiple applications. Okay. Agents' post-call workload is too high by contact center size. So the wrap-up stage, right? The wrap-up of the call. So the average here, again, over 50% of the people that took part in the survey, and we're talking hundreds, if not 1,000, is over 50% agree or strongly agree that an agent's post-call workload is too high. Isn't that fascinating? This is a survey from decision makers, from leaders in contact centers, talking about their own contact centers. And by their own admission, they are saying an agent's post-call workload is too high. And this is at a time when we know there's been great leaps and advancements in technology taking the more transactional stuff. And maybe this is a symptom of that, right? That there's far more work for agents to do after the event. Okay, I have a viewpoint on grow. Steve, go for it. The floor is yours. Danny and Nathan are agreeing now. I just feel that I feel that's not what we employ operational managers for. We need to create the environment where they can play to their strengths and not be sticky plasters for other inefficient processes. Really true. MC Neris, I see this cutting and pasting all of the time. It's such a waste of time and leads to inconsistency. There is a canned response, but I prefer this one. Or worse, incompliant. They cut and paste credit card details. Wowzers. Wowzers. Yes, this is creating the risk, right? Isn't it? You might be interested in this next one, Neris, as well. So the question is, all of our applications are fully integrated and optimized for the user journey by contact center size. So strongly disagree and disagree again. Nearly what is that? Over 70% say that their applications are not integrated and they are not optimized for the user journey. Wow. Okay, Bev's got a point here on cut and paste. Cut and paste post-call workload symptomatic of poor systems integration by the CCaaS vendors. Yeah, true, Bev. Another time on Grow, I promise. Okay, we'll hold you to that, Steve. The benchmark of what constitutes too high needs to be understood. My gauge is always 10% of AHT, but it varies wildly. Yeah, really good point. What is too high? I think it's in the terminology. I can't remember it offhand, Neris, but again, here you see symptomatic of the previous two graphs that we haven't got fully integrated and optimized applications that help the user. And that user, I'm assuming, is our customer facing team members. I wouldn't have a job if most were in the strongly agree. Key question: who, what falls down the gaps between the disjointed application? True. Very, very true, Neris. Customers, probably. Now then, this next applicatoins. Okay, this next one is really interesting. So, in call access to knowledge, what are the sources in our industry that enable agents within a call to get access to information to better service their customers? So, look at the most prominent ones: the company website and being able to go on the internet, followed by manuals, whether paper or online, followed by FAQs. So the use of AI virtual assistant or case-based reasoning or similar things that pop up and help the team member in the moment, or even a free text search of a knowledge base, are low. And just telling our team members to go to the company website that probably hasn't been updated in ages is by far the greatest thing that we're saying. Don't worry, when you get stuck on a call, why don't you just look at our company website? It's mind-boggling to me. People. We are in 2023. KM should all be, knowledge management should all be moving to AI. Completely agree. But look at that, 6%. 6%. So it's kind of like when our agents come into the workplace, they go back in time. So they're probably using ChatGPT and all of this kind of stuff, and then they come in and they're told to go and check the website for in call access to knowledge. Crazy. I find it crazy. Is this question what is available, or where do you really check? Yeah, it's a good point, Danny. If memory serves, it is what is the it's more the first point, what is available. I had to join this morning as I'm off. As much as I think you're brilliant, Martin T, so I should go and do all the other LinkedIn stuff and be present for my young son and the sun. Hashtag good for productivity. Speak soon. Thank you for having me and entertaining my comments. No problem, Steve. Have a lovely day. Thank you. So yeah, what do you think of this? It's madness, isn't it? That we're still asking people to go to company websites and internet access. Here we go. We've done a lot of research into knowledge and AI. I think there's some fantastic speech analytics knowledge systems out there providing great assistance in real time for agents, takes the pressure off the agents, but puts a focus on investing in appropriate knowledge management and training. Oh, that sounds fascinating, Phil. And it doesn't surprise me that you guys are looking into that. It would be good to hear back from you on how that goes. Are you going to be testing it? What kind of thing are you going to be doing? That looks great. Okay, we're now moving to a new section, and this new section is the extent to which your front and back office WFM functionality are joined up, and you had to assess yourself as to whether that was okay or poor or good or excellent. And you can see that quite the majority, well, quite an even split really between what the extent to which front office and back office were even using the same WFM, or that there was a co-joined approach. And I think it points to this kind of silo where we often don't think about the support functions being on the same schedules as the frontline teams, and that kind of thing. So I found that interesting. Now the final one in this section, and we've done about 10 pages, so we're going to be doing this for a little bit longer. Is the use of desktop automation software by contact center size. So the green is used now with no plans to replace. Light green, we use it, but we're looking to replace. Yellow, light yellow, we'll implement within 12 months. We'll implement after 12 months. Red is no plans to implement. And then my favorite ever survey response is don't know, is the gray. So you can see on average, just under a third are using it and don't plan to replace it. 31% are not using it and don't plan to implement it. And I know our in-house wrapper will probably have a view on desktop automation software. This is about Neris, I think you're saying, wrenching back office into WFM disciplines is pretty tough. Walk away codes are not adopted very well by back office. Big cultural change. Yeah, I've seen the same thing myself. People kind of go, well, I kind of left this life behind, especially if they were on the phones, and then asking people to do activity outcomes is a challenge. Very, very good point. Yes, RPA isn't for everyone. And is that because it just doesn't suit the setup of the contact center, that it doesn't add value? What is it? Why isn't it for everyone? Or is that too broad a question? I found some of this section, especially on how we are supporting agents to show where we need to make some improvements. We talk about making things easy and looking after customer advisors, well-being, and things like that, but we're actually not getting our processes and giving them the tools needed to do the job, which would have a bigger impact on their job satisfaction than anything else, I would argue. Robotic process automation. The processes have to be consistently mappable for it to work. Yeah, really good point. And this is absolutely within Neris's expertise amongst wrapping and other things, lots of other things. So we're working our way through it. Hopefully this is helping you in your knowledge of our industry and enabling you to have better conversations both internally and with each other in the industry. I'm loving it, to be honest. I'm loving going through this. I've always downloaded the guide, but I've never consistently read it. So I'm enjoying it. And as we get to the end of this show, I just want to give you another update. If there's some new people watching, maybe you haven't heard about this. Coming this summer, I'm going to be hosting a contact center campfire. I'm going to be doing it with my good friend Centrical. Do you want to know more? It's going to be a new event for our industry. It's going to be out in the sun, and we're going to address loads of topics. And I would love to get your view on what kind of things we should be doing. So if you haven't already, please do let me know if you'd be interested in attending this. I'll give more details as on this show as we get closer to the event. But Simon, I found RPA effective in high volume, low complexity work streams. But outside of that, I'm not sure it's suitable. Machines when it's important, people when it's very important. Great phraseology, Simon. Brilliant. So if you haven't, all you need to do is just drop me a message comment here or send me a message on LinkedIn that you are interested at the moment in attending the contact center campfire. I cannot confirm yet whether you have to bring your own marshmallows, but there will be marshmallows. It would be great to have an in-person event much like this, but with some extra fun stuff. So if you are interested, please do let me know. Um, Again, this has been a lovely 40 minutes in your company. I really appreciate your time. Hold on. In case this hasn't already been made clear, I'd be very interested. Little outdoorsy if you haven't noticed. I have, Jordan. You're definitely on the guest list. Consider yourself booked. And anyone else, please do just let me know. It's been great to spend time with you as always. I hope you have a lovely rest of the week. Where is it likely to be held other than a field? Hi, Ian. Going to be looking somewhere central in the country, so kind of Midlands area, hopefully, so people can. It's equidistant to as many people in the UK as possible. And for those of you watching abroad, who knows if it takes off? Maybe we can do an international version. I've got you there, Barry. Whether you like it or not, I'm going to kidnap you. To get there. So yeah, I'd love to have you there. And Ian, to your point, I'll be sharing as soon as I can. I'll be sharing dates, location. Danny have wellies can travel. That is brilliant. Tentative yes, then. Brilliant. Thanks, Ian. Thanks everyone. Have a great week. Yes, Phil, couldn't put it more. So for all of you watching, thank you very much, and I will see you all next Tuesday. Thank you. Bye bye.